everyone, welcome back to Sow and Grow. First of all, I'd like to say a huge thank you to all my new subscribers. Don't know where you've all come from, but I'm jolly glad to see you. You'll find at the moment the channel is a little bit of a mix and match. For those of you that don't know, I broke my ankle 8 weeks ago today. It was a double fracture of my left ankle, so I've been slightly incapacitated up to now. However, things are starting to improve. I can now go up and down stairs on one crutch as opposed to on one leg, and I'm starting to get out and about, albeit weight bearing with 2 crutches. So I'm hoping that in the coming weeks I'll be able to do more and more filming from the allotment, and there'll be more and more going on that I'll be able to share with you. Guess what? I've been tagged. I was tagged by the lovely Bill and Val from 2 Plots of Heaven to talk about the 5 things or reasons why I go to and create on YouTube. So here we go. Back in August last year, we were very fortunate to be given an allotment share alongside my son-in-law Miles. I did a search for allotments, and some of you who are familiar with one of my first vlogs will know that the first person I came across was Stu of Petals on the Paving Slabs. The title of one of his vlogs actually drew my attention straight away, and it was entitled something like the 10 things people never tell you about having an allotment. If you haven't seen it, I suggest you find Stu, you find Petals on the Paving Slabs, and you go directly to that particular vlog. And as I said in a previous recording, I found myself through those 10 points laughing out loud and getting teary as I identified with what Stu was saying about the joy of having an allotment. So I suspect that that is my second thing. It was finding Stu, being totally enamoured by his channel, and obviously it involves all his family. And then from there I thought, right, okay, that's me, I'm hooked. So I started to look around. I think first of all I looked at the people that Stu was recommending. So I looked at Kelly from Kelly's Kitchen Garden, and I found Richard and Paul, and then obviously from there it just spun off into the, I don't know, to the moon and back, I suppose. I was really well and truly hooked. So I would say that that's point number 3. I found myself completely addicted, and it just took me from one channel to the next. They're all pretty similar, but at the same time they all have their own USP. So there was something different, I suppose, with everyone I met and came across. So moving on to point number 4, I would say once I'd found the gardening community, I felt that I wanted to participate. I think you can watch people and you can comment on their vlogs, but it's something else in doing it yourself. I think it brings another context to it, and I think this one also brings me to my next point and final point, which is all the things that the gardening community offers. I mean friendship, caring, information, support. These are all things that are out there within this community. And I love the fact that you build friendships with people around the world. You have the opportunity that you would never have to share experiences with people from lots of different places who have different methods of doing things. So, there's the opportunity to speak to people in America, in Canada, in Norway, and further afield in Australia. And I actually love the fact that you're building friendships all the time within this community, and the way people relate to each other and are, genuinely interested in what other people are doing. And I think that's what will keep me coming to YouTube. The sheer joy of being part of the friendship that's shared on this community. So with that in mind, I'm going to nominate my 3 channels. So I'm going to tag, first of all, Benni L. Now Benni gardens in Norway at the side of a fjord, so obviously that comes with its, I suppose, with its pluses and its minuses. So Benni, I'd be interested in hearing what brings you to YouTube and why you keep coming back. My second nominee is Jackie. Got to have a quick look at the new name of Gone Potty Gardening. That's Jackie. She's in the Republic of Ireland in County Mayo. She keeps donkeys, chickens, she's about to rear goats in such a beautiful part of the world as well. So Jackie, you're my next person to tag. And then finally we have Ryan from A Little Dirt Never Hurt. If you haven't met Ryan or seen any of his vlogs, it's time you did. They're not only a laugh a minute, but my God, he's so industrious. So Ryan, what brought you to YouTube and why'd you keep coming back? I've just spun you round for a moment because I just happened to glance out of the window and the light was really gorgeous. Looking now through the lens of the phone doesn't seem quite as attractive, but I don't know, I suppose it's now 5:15 and it's still daylight. There are things out in the garden that are coming into bud, and I think I just had to share this moment with you. And of course, never too far away is Thomas, who looks like he's just about ready to settle down and have a snooze. Is that right, Thomas? Hey? Beautiful boy. Beautiful boy. Here we have the hydroponic box in which I'm growing the chilies and the sweet peppers. The germination has been a little bit sporadic. The last 2 rows here were with my own seed, which was Ring of Fire. They were actually planted a little bit later than the others, so I'm still holding out hope for those. Sorry about the light. The box is rather heavy because obviously this lower half is filled with water, and so it's too heavy for me to move, and I'm looking directly into the light, but I hope you can see. In most cases I planted 2 seeds, and in a lot of cases only 1 seed has come up. I think if I did it again, the one lesson I've learned is to actually push them a little bit further into the Rockwell blocks. I shan't be growing these on in a hydroponic method, mainly because the system's a little bit expensive, and I didn't really want to go down that route at the moment, so I'm actually going to be transplanting these out into small pots. It's brilliant to be getting back to normal. It's been a slow process. Today it's 8 weeks since I broke my ankle, but it's lovely to be doing things that I enjoy doing, like planting seeds and, in this case, baking bread. And this recipe was one that I've got from Paul of Richard and Paul. I'll actually put a link in my little blog. It's a loaf that's made entirely in the mixer, so I'll spin you around. I've actually used the Kenwood over there, so all the kneading and everything is done in there. And then it goes in the oven for about half an hour, and this is the result. It's a really tasty loaf and very easy to do. So I've made this today especially for my mum. I haven't seen my mum since Boxing Day. I've missed a lot, so I've spoken to her on the phone, but it's not been possible for me to get to see her because of my situation. And unfortunately, she's not in a very good place either, because this time last year, well, January 2018, she was in the Canary Islands and she broke her humerus. We had to fly out to a sister home, and we came home with the help of a nurse. Well, the story is the fracture never healed, and so in August last year, she found herself in hospital, 86 years old, having to have the bone pinned and plated. So I guess you could say it runs in the family.